Hi, this is Brittany Herrera with CIT 360. I'm going to be going over the HTTP URL connections for my familiarity review today. Okay, let's begin. So what is HTTP URL connection? Well, it's the way that you link a Java application to a URL site or resource, and it's used to read from or write to the URL source. The HTTP URL connection class is a class directly that extends from the URL connection and includes all the functionality of the parent class with more specific features. It is different from the HTTPS URL connection because that is more secure protocol. Here's the syntax, and that was from this website. So basically, it's the HTTP URL connection, and then you put the link. The HTTP URL connection methods are get, post, options, head, put, delete, and trace. And here are some examples. If I want to put in a get request, I'm going to get the information from that link. So here's this on the top. And then I want to get to the login page. So it's on the login page. But if I want to post what the user puts in, then I need to get a request to get the posted information down here. There's a lot of great information and on how to do these HTTP URL connection links, and there's different things that you need to look out for. If you're building an application, you want to always make sure that that link will always bring a user to an appropriate URL source. And sometimes if servers are down and things like that, there's lots of different issues that can come up. Sometimes if you put in it a certain way, nothing may come up because you didn't put a timeout session. So there's a lot of great information on these websites. So here was an example about the timeout here on the Stack Overflow. So her program, she said, didn't exist when she put the get response code. It just looked like, you know, nothing happened really. But after they put in the timeout, it fixed the issue. So that's one issue that can come out. And then here's some information on this docs.oracle. It talks a lot about just the basics on it, like, so they have the chunk link, fixed link, because sometimes if you're downloading something, you know, it may only be set to download a certain amount of a file or time limit. So all of those things matter, and this docs.oracle.com can explain really well. And then like if you want to get a response code, this gets the status code from the HTTP response message. So this, I would suggest definitely looking at this site. Then we have, these are examples, you know, of exceptions that you can get on this Codata.com. And it talks about what changes make when you put true and false and things like that. And then this codejava.net is awesome. He has lots of great different articles on, like this example was just in general, they should be URL connections. So download the HTML source. This is how you would code that up. And then he also talks about downloading a file. So I was using my example on the Oregon Trail here. We have this application, and you know, you go through it. Well, if you don't know how to go forward, it would probably have been good when we did this program in the last class to put in this download the FTP file source. So I kind of just noted that in, because if someone gets stuck, they can pull up the instructions from that source, and I thought that would be helpful for that game. And then this, he talks again, this code java.net. about, you know, just specifics on the send, the get request, the post request. All of these things have to be imported because they don't just always come with the IDE and what you're working with. So you need to make sure you import those. And how to fix issues as far as like sometimes like if the website moves or you're just having issues with connecting. This website here, Java Revisited Blogspot, talks a lot about what to do on the exceptions. And then the redirect, oh, this was really good. The HTTP follow redirect example. So basically, if you open a website, you want to make sure that if that website changes, like he gave an example of Twitter here. If you want to change because they changed it, you need to make sure that you're setting this up here and you redirect. How you set this part up, it will redirect you to the new website. Sometimes, like system print line response code plus status, if you redirect, you get the new header and all the things that go with it. So you want to make sure that if your users clicking a link, that link will always work. And the way you do that is by setting up those things that will catch the error and to go to the new website. And here's another example of it. Basically, this one says that they wanted to open up the connection, and there's their code. It says the redirect never happens. It prints out the original URL. So if you switch the connection to connect line, like here, connection.getResponseCode, then it seems to work for them. But this Stack Overflow page really, it talks a lot about that. So it says the connect method just creates a connection. You have to commit the request by calling the get input stream, get response code, or the get response message for the response to be returned and processed. So that right there is huge because when servers change or servers go out or URLs change, you really need to have the user of the application to get redirected somewhere. And by setting it up properly, you know that you're not going to have some user that just looks at a black screen or some kind of error. They're going to be redirected. So I definitely suggest reading more about from Stack Overflow here on that topic because that's a big issue. Anyways, I hope you got a good idea from this presentation on what the HTTP connections are used for. They're used to download and access sources that are external and to always be updated with the current information. You know how links change and everything, and information changes all the time. You have to make sure that you set the code up correctly so that they always receive the right link, the right information, and things like that. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. I enjoyed doing the presentation. Thank you so much. Bye.